Usually in the evenings, anywhere between 5:30 and 7:30, I'll start an evening walk. On this particular evening, I could hear African drums in the distance, and this is not too far from where I live, and I was curious, and I walked towards the sound, and I saw this group of people practicing their drumming and dancing. And it was really nice, a really nice experience. It got dark and I headed up to the main road, which is just a wide dirt road that cars can pass down. I walked along the road. I ended up at a friend's shanty. She's a lady in the village that sometimes makes food for me. She was hanging out with Crunchy, the electrician. I always give him a bro bonga. Bonga is a fist pump. If you want to say fist pump me bro, you say bongako. Bongako in Luganda. And I said to my friend, hey, give me a shot. You can get a shot from her little bar for a quarter. Then Crunchy the electrician said, buy me a shot, bro. And I said, you buy me a shot, bro. He looked at my friend, nodded his head to give her the go signal, and I got a free shot. I haven't had an ounce of liquor in 2 months. That loosened me up, made me feel a little more sociable. Christmas is coming soon, and I can feel the spirit of Christmas even here in the jungle on these dirt roads. People seem a little happier than usual, a little more festive than usual. A lot of people here don't have TVs or electricity, so entertainment for them is walking out and about through the jungle and socializing. Some people are coming home from work, or maybe they're just out to buy some food for dinner. A thick, young, voluptuous girl wearing a body-tight white skirt showing all of her wonderful African curves smiled at me as I walked by. She was with her sister. We stopped and talked. I asked her if she'd like to join me on my walk through the jungle. She said no, she had to accompany her younger sister. She said, maybe if you give me your number, we can talk later. We exchanged numbers, and of course that draws the attention of all the young men walking by, but by this time I'm used to it, used to being stared at. I continued on and I saw a little boy chasing a little girl. They must have been about 3 years old. She tripped and fell on the ground and started crying. She was laying there in the dirt. I stepped over her, picked her up and set her straight on her feet again. She instantly stopped crying, looked up at me in bewilderment, and was dead silent. I smiled, gave her a nod, and I walked away. I turned onto a smaller road, now going downhill in the jungle. It's a pretty gnarly road. You would definitely need a 4-wheel drive to get through this road. We're in the rainy season now, so these roads really get torn up. Their whole form changes. Roads become deep rivets. A road that was once wide becomes a narrow ridge. And if you're not familiar walking on that road, you need a flashlight. I trekked down this road through the jungle. A voluptuous woman, probably in her late 40s, but still looking stylish, walked past me. We began to talk, and I also invited her to join me on my walk. She said I would like to, but my mother is sick and I have to tend to her tonight. She had a bag of half-eaten banana chips in her hand and she gave them to me. She said, here, you can eat these. This is actually one of the things I like about Africa. You can eat half a bag of some peanuts or a snack, and if you don't want to eat anymore, you simply hold it out, nod to some kid, and they'll come and get it and eat it. Nothing goes to waste. I gladly accepted her banana chips. Then she said, I can't spend time with you tonight, but tomorrow will be okay. She gave me her phone number and told me to call her later. At the end of the interaction, she stuck out her hand to shake my hand, which is not so common for women to do here, in my experience. After shaking her hand, she held on to my hand, turned it over, she knelt down and she kissed it twice. That's never happened to me before, meeting a stranger. It was a bit of an awkward feeling. I'm not used to women behaving like that, but it was very sweet at the same time. I walked away and I really enjoyed those banana chips. Within 15 seconds, I found myself following an astoundingly gorgeous figure. I could only see her from behind. She was wearing a long figure-fitting dress, and I was mesmerized by her shape and her hips moving in the darkness. She had a red hijab on, and I was so curious and attracted to her at the same time. As I came up beside her, I asked her if she was a Muslim. She turned to me, and her face was strikingly gorgeous. She said, "Yes, I am." And that was the beginning of our conversation. We walked together. She was a young girl, tall, thin, voluptuous, very curvy, one of the most attractive women I've seen around here. We spent the next 20, 30 minutes together as she did her night shopping to buy some food. And I hung out with her and we talked and we got to know each other. She told me about her life. I also asked her to continue on the walk with me, but she said that she wakes up early in the morning and commutes all the way to a city an hour away. And when you talk about an hour commute here in Uganda, it's not like you're driving at a high speed down a smooth road, listening to some nice, comforting music in your comfortable car. No, an hour journey here in Uganda is an hour of hell in a tiny little bus with cramped seats. It's noisy. The bus stops and goes. The road is terrible. An hour journey here in Uganda can feel like a day's journey. She said she was tired from working all day, but she said she would like us to meet again, and she gave me her phone number. By this point, I had been walking around quite a bit. I was tired, so I sat down in front of a shop for about 7 minutes and just kind of rested my feet. Then I decided to go home. I stood up and started to walk home. I realized there was a cute little African girl walking next to me. She was probably only about 4'11", and she had a really cute face and long dreads, and she was wearing an oversized basketball jersey. The story here takes a surprising turn, but I'll be posting the rest of this on Patreon. I post more personal things about my life on Patreon, and I have over 1,500 videos archived of my life in the last 10 years in various countries around the world. Nothing beats actually being here, but I hope I was able to convey a little bit of a sense of what it's like to be living in Africa. It's a world I could have never imagined.